Services Lavazzi at who1.co.uk present the 20 megabyte Doctor Who podcast.
Hello and welcome to the 20 megabyte Doctor Who podcast, episode 564. I'm Adam and I didn't pick up any quotes. And here's Mary Lang.
One psychopath per TARDIS, don't you think?
Debbie Melrose.
You walk among fire pits, Centurion.
And Kirby Bartlett Sloan.
Yowza.
Well, I've been gone for a bit of a hiatus. We could have come back last week, but I was winding Kirby up because he kept on nagging me, so we decided to keep the hiatus going for another week.
You know what would have happened if we had done that?
What?
I wouldn't have been on.
Hey, I should have done it then.
I was in a silent movie.
Never mind then. Right, so this week, I'm not going to go over why there was a hiatus. I think if anybody's a friend of me on... Excuse me, I ate a McDonald's very quickly. Is a friend of me on Facebook, they'll know the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and it's been and is still very stressful. So, moving on. I haven't got much time today because I've had to start late because of stuff going on. Alicia is about to give birth, and she decided her friend decided to have a baby shower tonight. And Carl didn't want to miss out, so I had to attend their wetting the baby's head when it's not quite there to be wetted yet night, which at the same place, same time.
I didn't have a baby shower.
Okay, well, you can have one tomorrow.
It's not been a very British thing until sort of like the last 5 years.
It's just an excuse to get people to buy you presents. It's a silly thing.
And gender reveal
typical
parties
Americans.
Yeah.
I just went, we're having a girl, whoopee, and that was it.
So, today we're going to whiz through Angels Take Manhattan. The reason I'm going to whiz through it is because, unfortunately, it's not on my Apple TV, so the actual placement of the scroll is going to make it very difficult for me to actually to watch it. So anyway, I thought I might have to do 20-second increments. That's a good word. I'm going all dark. Maybe I'll have to change. I'm just going to, for the benefit of the viewers who can't see the money maker, I'm just going to change the exposure on the online camera.
Take your money
maker. It'll actually make them all turn off, to be fair, but I'm going to do some exposure messing around here.
Ow! Apollo.
I pressed the wrong button then, it went manual.
Ow! Ow!
There we go. I better turn that off. Okay. Oh, what's up? We can come through, Deb. It's fine. Angels Take Manhattan. Right. So it begins with a load of spooky. What was some bloke some monologue, isn't it? About I think an excerpt from the book. Excerpts. Yeah, from the book. Yeah, and a bloke that is similar to that chap who was in the. Sorry, Deb's just putting some stuff way behind me. That episode where the Doctor gets shot by a space person who's actually River Song, and it's not actually the Doctor. What was his name? Canton. That could have been him in this episode, but obviously it wasn't. That would have been silly. To cut a short story long, there's this old chap who he looks quite familiar as an actor to me. I can't think of what I've seen him in before. Who's a bit sinister, and this chap goes up into a room and meets himself, and then he gets grabbed by an angel and sent back in time to actually live out his life, essentially in that room apparently.
Just master.
No,
just before the opening title sequence is the thing that bothers me the most about the story. It happens twice. The stupid Statue of Liberty, which if you'll recall, there were rumors that that Moffat was going to make the Statue of Liberty a weeping angel for like 6 months before this came out.
Yeah,
and we were all going, no.
No.
It's like you can't do that.
It can't be a weeping angel, or if it is, it will never move because someone's always looking at it.
That's true. That is true.
Maybe now, but not back in those days. Not everybody had the internet or whatnot, did they? What are you eating off the floor, Dogface? That's sure
A
something you're not
biscuit.
supposed to be blimmin' eating, is it?
Don't call me
yeah,
dog
I'm dogs
face.
can't eat lettuce. I'm sure there was a bit of lettuce on the floor I couldn't find.
That's when he's being loving.
Yeah, I know.
So where do we get up to? Oh yes, I quite like the what they call it, the Weeping Angel that's the Statue of Liberty. I quite like that, and I like the fact that it's not as green as it is now, because obviously it's a bit closer to.
Well,
it would have turned green pretty
seen-
quickly, to be fair. What?
What is the name of that that TV show from a few years back where there was an alternate timeline and they kept the Statue of Liberty copper colored in the alternate universe? What was
Dunno.
that thing called?
Wow, wouldn't
I
know.
don't know, but it sounds very familiar.
I remember the Statue of Liberty in the Planet of the Apes. That was quite when I first ever saw that. When Charlton Heston's going on the beach and it is, that was one of the coolest scenes I'd
And
seen
not
in
swearing
film.
at all.
I didn't swear.
I'd have been turning the air blue if that had been me.
I didn't swear at all. Anyway, sorry, moving back to Doctor Who. So he goes into this room and finds himself in bed and turns into the corridor, and a weeping angel is there to, just chase him for a bit. And then it's a title sequence, rather cool title sequence, actually, to be fair. That's a bit different. This is when Moffat liked to have the Doctor Who logo with a sort of weird theme colour on it.
Yeah.
And then I know the BBC went to New York to do some of these little sort of introduction scenes of them being in New York. I don't think they were actually in New York. For
Yes,
the
they were.
scenes themselves. What?
They were. They actually weren't in Cardiff for a change.
No.
No, they
that
were
can't be right.
both. I mean, a lot of the buildings that you see are in Cardiff, but the Amy and Rory and the Doctor were in Central Park. That is actually Central Park, and you've got pictures of Doctor Who fans sitting on that same rock.
Yeah, I remember it from when it came out. Yeah, what a
Right,
big deal
now I've
that
got
was.
to go to New York.
And they crossed Fifth Avenue at one point, and it was really there. And the TARDIS is parked at the Brooklyn Bridge Park, and that cemetery is in New York.
I sit corrected.
Yes.
The Doctor
No.
is
No, it's not. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. Can I say I'm wrong?
Why?
Because the cemetery is in Newport.
Oh, fair enough.
The fountains that Rory goes to.
England
That's
or
a super
Newport,
good
I'm
one.
fine.
I was
the
half
big,
expecting to see Doc
The
Brown's
the
name
big
on one of the
angel and all
gravestones.
that is there. That is in Central
Yeah.
Park.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
But,
back to Doctor Who.
The Grail's
Not
mansion
that
there, later on when you see the Doctor and River and the Doctor's healing River's wrist, and they're sitting on those steps, those are the same steps that the dog named Rose came
Yes,
down.
exactly the same building, isn't it?
Yes. I'd say what the building's name is, but it's in Welsh and I can't pronounce it.
Anyway, back to Doctor Who. So Amy and the Doctor are sort of sitting back to back reading stuff, and Amy's got some new glasses. Doctor is reading a specific book, which was about. Well, it was written, as we will find out, by. It's not actually River, is it? Was it River?
Yes.
Apollo
Yeah.
gets it.
Well, it's actually written by Amy. I think it was written by
No.
Amy. No.
No.
No,
it's
it's
Lee
River,
River.
and then Amy
River.
wrote the last page.
Oh, that's it.
He
Yes,
took
now I
out.
remember, because the Doctor rather conveniently tears out the last page because he doesn't like. What's the point in reading the book if you don't want to see what the ending is? It might be a happy ending. Well, silly notion that is. Anyway,
And if you look at that last page when he picks it up, it's only got like maybe 3 lines of print on it. But
Yeah.
then her afterward goes on and on and on.
And it's like Ian Kirk said 11 years ago. If someone had left that picnic basket in Central Park like that, and the Doctor should not have expected to find it.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah.
so anyway, Rory's getting a bit bored with these two reading and stuff, so he decides to go off and get a cup.
No,
of
they're
tea.
discussing the eye thing that's going on,
Yes.
and he gets all scared of Amy, so goes to get more coffee.
But did anybody notice his rather cool jacket that's got a hood on it, like the was it the 12th Doctor's? Yeah, the 12th Doctor's jacket, which was like a normal jacket with a hood on it. Anybody notice that?
Oh.
Well, no, it's the hood's underneath his jacket. I rephrase that, but it does look very 12th Doctorish. He's sort of trying to cosplay the 12th Doctor before the 12th Doctor.
Before the 12th Doctor even knew what he looked like, yeah.
So,
it's said, Master, it's said that Moffat was visiting New York for something, and he was in Central Park and saw that fountain, and that's what inspired this entire story.
Splendid.
Yeah.
So the Doctor starts reading this this book while Rory encounters some statues and eventually just disappears. He's suddenly back in time and he meets his mummy.
Master,
which I always find
Master.
a very cool scene. Yes.
He
I
makes
just noticed-
me.
I just noticed that when the Doctor and Amy are on the bridge, that Amy is playing Pooh Sticks.
Oh, it's always a classic game, that is.
Yes.
I did see that.
I don't think there's a actual current, because that's a lake, not a
Yeah, but
stream.
you're British, you have to automatically, if you're on a bridge, find a stick.
Yes.
It's
Right,
the
anyway.
rules.
I got interrupted. I was trying to say that Rory meets his mummy-in-law, but as per usual, I get
It's his
interrupted.
daughter.
Daughter.
Yeah, sorry, it's his daughter. Oh, because she says hello, Dad, didn't she?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
you lot. It's all your lot's fault. All this
What?
very complicated parentage. It's like the Davison and Tennant scenario. Davison, Tennant, and
Yes.
Moffat. It's all over the place. So yeah, now very soon the Doctor realises that book is quite important to finding Rory, because there's sort of basically it's instructions within the story itself. The Doctor tries to land in whatever the year is, it 1936, but there's a
38.
time thingy and it bounces off. Yes.
It's 1938.
Anyway,
Yeah,
there's
get
a
it
time
right,
thingy
London,
that and
come
it
on.
bounces off. I'm trying to cut a long story short here. And the next time they go to this graveyard, the weather's really, really quite spooky, and the TARDIS is smoking because it doesn't like trying to go through this sort of timey shield thing. Rory's taken to this mansion place where the creepy American bloke, whose face I seem is familiar, but I can't think where I've seen it before, is going to sort of use him for bait, I
For
suppose.
various purposes.
Yeah. All the Chinese text on the what they used to call it, they're not trophies, are they? They're vases. Starts translating for Rory, and River says something
The
like this.
actor's name is Michael McShane.
Gift of the TARDIS.
That's why we should know him. He's in everything.
He's in the Tower of Terror movie. That's a hard one to find. I wonder if it's on Disney
whatever.
Plus.
So Rory gets put in the cellar.
He
Rory
played
gets put
Friar
in the
Tuck in
cellar.
Robin Hood, Prince of
Rory
Thieves.
gets put in the cellar. Rory gets put in the cellar. Oh, sorry, that's from Planet of Spiders, wasn't it? And it wasn't Rory. And then Clem appears on the screen. Anybody do that? Clem spotting is always good fun. Did anybody see Clem pop his head? Were you not paying attention, Deb?
I wasn't paying attention to Clem.
I don't know what you're
sorry.
talking about.
Right, the scene is China, 221 BC, and the first person you see as the camera pans up is Clem. Yes, friend of the show, friend of
Is
Fancy
it
Con.
just me, or is Adam?
What?
Is Adam breaking up for anybody else like he is for me?
It's only for you, Mary. I'll
Yeah,
break up
It's
for you
only
anytime you
What-
like.
You,
What
I
do you
think,
mean,
Mary.
Clem?
Actually, you're all breaking up. Yeah.
That's because everybody's talking over each other.
No, we're not.
Well, sort of. So
Who are you talking about, friend?
Clem bloody so. No, if you're listening, Clem, I apologise for inserting a non-existent middle name for you, but he's been on the show. He's been interviewed on the show. He's also been interviewed via the
He was on the
20
show when
megabyte,
we went when we got
YouTube
married.
channel when you're on stage talking about all the stuff he's done. He's been in loads of stuff, and here he is. I think this might be his most recent appearance in Doctor Who, possibly. Clem's in Doctor Who, but yeah, legend. Sorry you can't remember that, Kirby. Friend of the show and everything. So hopefully Clem isn't listening to this and isn't getting insulted by Kirby sort of forgetting that he's a legend and stuff. Anyway, River sort of gets all arrogant and stuff.
Oh, okay. Now I see.
God, bloody hell.
Google's your friend, is it?
Clemso, okay.
Yes, Clemso.
I had to scroll through the TARDIS.fandom.com to find.
You did you? Okay.
And he's uncredited.
Yeah, don't care if he's uncredited. He's been in absolute loads of stuff, and it's actually a pastime that fans of Clem watch something he's been in or something he's going to be in, and they don't know he's in, and do Clem spotting. It's an actual activity. That's one I invented, actually, but people do it. Right, so
actually, this is not the most recent time. He is going to be in. He's a Clockwork Droid in Deep Breath. He's a Trap Street alien in Face the Raven.
You're right. Yeah, I forgot about Face the Raven. Face the Raven might be the most recent one, but he's more prominent in Face the Raven.
He's one of Rafondo's guards in Extremis.
I'm wasted on this show sometimes, aren't I?
So anyway, River pulls this curtain back, and there's a deeply scarred sleeping angel, which is obviously being mistreated by our horrible friend, who's a bit like remember the bloke in the Daleks? Was it Daleks Take Manhattan? That sounds quite familiar to Angels Take Manhattan. Something like that. Was it Daleks in...
did take Manhattan as well, yeah.
Similar sort of character, the bloke in it.
Nasty guy who became the human Dalek.
Human Dalek.
I am a human Dalek.
Are you, Kirby? Oh, why am I not surprised? Anyway, so Rory's been very kindly given a few matches so he can be really spooky down in the cellar.
I do like the cherubs.
The cherubs are great. That's a crackingly scary scene. That is really good.
And the match being blown out.
And then the Doctor appears just as River's hand has been grabbed by the moody weeping angel. And then of course, there's a point in which I'm moving forward a little bit. The Doctor River banter is absolutely superb. And
you drive with the brakes on.
Yes. And
that's not in this one, but
no, I know, but it feels like it should be.
There's a point in which he accidentally glances at the end, the last chapter of the book, which says something about Amelia's last stand or something. I don't know.
No, they deliberately look at the chapter headings because he figures out that he can do that and that she's going to provide a clue in the chapter headings, but he's not going to cause any other problems by actually reading it.
But it did. Anyway, so they're in a spot of bother at this point, and I do love the scene well because the Doctor said about the River's hand being grabbed by the weeping angel, and the only way, she's either going to break it and of course then she's out suddenly, and the scene with the she just goes, somebody grabs her and she goes, ow, she's been so brave little soldier with a broken wrist. And
there's another case where the angels aren't behaving properly. The doctor walks away from her and the angel's still holding her wrist, but the angel does not move.
Oh well, sorry about that, Kirby.
She's not looking at it. She's looking after him.
Doesn't matter. So when the Doctor uses some of his
the rules.
Be quiet. When the Doctor uses his regeneration to heal her wrist, he gets a slap round the choppers for doing that. So anyway, it's all very spooky because obviously there's statues everywhere and they all appear to be weeping angels. Rory decides to have a wander through this spooky hotel, which reminds me of that spooky hotel was it the God Complex as well? That was quite a spooky hotel. But
the one with all their nightmares in rooms. Yeah.
And this being a nightmare in itself. And he, I'm moving forward a bit, but he ends up in a room with himself in it. And I thought if you touched yourself, that Blimovich limitation effect would come to, but he holds. Oh no, it's not himself. It's Amy.
Yeah,
he's dead
Amy,
again.
But still, this is one of those problems I have with this.
Okay, but he's dead again. And I think
it is solved by the fact that when Dr. Song and the Doctor end up in there, you now have a paradox.
Wasn't funny the first time you said it, Kirby, and it's still not funny.
I can repeat jokes every 11 years.
So Rory dies again, and he does mention about the fact that in a minute when he dies again, about the fact that he dies a lot.
Yes.
So at this point they realise that it's got to be something big that's going to destroy all these weeping angels of feeding off time and whatnot, and the only way they can do it is to change time. So instead of Rory getting taken back by a weeping angel or whatnot, he'll have to die. So he sort of makes a beeline for the roof, followed by his ever faithful wife. I'm skipping a bit here because basically there's a chase goes on, and it's quite a good scene actually where he's so committed to it while the beautiful Statue of Liberty angel watches over them. He's going to jump.
The stupid Statue of Liberty angel.
The stupid.
I love it. And anyway, so they jump together.
How did that move over there?
They jump together and they wipe out all the angels, and on this occasion, because it's suitable to the script, New York doesn't get done in. However,
it's a British program.
However, they end up back at the graveyard because none of this actually happened. Fortunately, they can all remember it, and the Doctor's sort of cleaning dust and whatnot off the TARDIS. And Rory spots a gravestone that has his name on it. Next to it, of course, is another gravestone that says Doc Emmett L. Brown. And then he disappears because there's an angel there with his little pointy out. Of course, Amy doesn't want to
This
see.
is another scene where there's at least one person always watching that angel, and yet it still does its thing.
It's a weird powered angel that managed to survive all this paradox stuff. That's why it's got extra superpowers, Kirby. And anyway, so Amy decides that she can't be without Rory, and she's a goodbye Raggedy Man, blah blah blah, and off she goes.
She tells Melody to be good, and
that was so good. I like
is
that.
still looking at the angel and kisses her mum's hand. I love that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And the Doctor's very upset because the Doctor likes Amy, and River seems very
and we all have to admit we cried her in the scene.
And River is upset but supportive and trying to support her husband, and he's the only way she can sort of support him and say, let's go on some journeys together, which we haven't seen yet or heard yet for that matter, because obviously there is a period of time between this end and the next episode. The Doctor was travelling with River. So there you go. That's essentially Angels Take Manhattan. Right, I've got to close that window down now so as to save some memory on the machine. And before I move on to what I thought of the episode, I'm just seeing if... Oh, look, we've got some stuff coming through on the feed. I feel such a long time since that happened. Billy Kirkbright says, nice to see you live live at a reasonable hour, currently in the UK. We could have come down here, Billy.
He doesn't have to visit
us. Yes, he does. I saw a very cool video of him at an Accrington. Shut up!
I would.
I saw a very cool video of him at an Accrington Stanley game, and then he said hello. And then Brandon said Kirby is thinking of Fringe, and then sorry I'm late. I want to get coffee.
That's it, Fringe.
I went to get coffee. Ended up in 1938. Oh, I've read that. I've read them all in the wrong order, but this is a podcast about a time-based program. Right then, so Angels Take Manhattan. I'll tell you what, right? It's very cinematic, and obviously Rory. This is the most stylish Rory's been in the whole of his time in Doctor Who. And I wonder if anyone's ever mentioned that Karen Gillan is hot. It's got also one of my favourite characters, and if Ben was on here, his least favourite character is River Song, and it's a lovely little ensemble, that little group. We don't often... it feels like we've seen a lot of episodes of all four of them together doing this sort of stuff. We haven't really. I've been in a few, but not as a little team like this. So there's been appearances here and there from River, and this is like a whole story of them all together, which I love. It's very dark because it's done mainly at night. I'm not keen on dark stuff, but in this occasion it was okay. I know, like Kirby, he likes to point out there's some discrepancies in regards to certain things, but I was very engaged with it, very sort of enthralled in enjoying the timey-wiminess. I don't normally like Angels episodes, but this one was okay. So I suppose it's because this is all like... I suppose Moffat must have thought this was the swan song of the Weeping Angels to a certain degree.
It did feel like that, didn't it? And also it sort of goes along as a lick, doesn't it, really, as well, this episode.
I felt that the fix was quite good, them jumping off the building, because they seem to they've got so far into their time with the Doctor, they understand certain times of elements of time and paradox and things. But and I like the fact they've grown so much together as an item, because obviously when they first in it, Amy was obsessed with the Doctor and Rory's just a little lamb that was following her around, and they just gradually developed this undying love for each other. Apart from that time when they split up, of course. So
it was still there.
Yeah.
By the way, you'll never guess what? It's raining again.
Anyway, so yeah, I
raining
quite
here too.
All right, thank you. I quite enjoyed this story, despite the faults that are going to be pointed out by certain people. What did you think of it then, Deb?
Me? Much the same as you, actually. I mean, I've watched it a few times, because obviously every time we say we were going to watch it and then we didn't, things like that, I actually was like, do you know what, I'm just going to watch it anyway and see if I start nitpicking. And I did, but I also really enjoyed it as just a rollicking good Doctor Who adventure, and it does feel like it should be the last time we see the Angels. It does feel like it. And what's the better finale than the biggest angel that you can find? You know?
I like that.
But the trouble is, it's when anything takes Manhattan, all I can think of is the Muppets, and it's really difficult because after this episode came out, memes galore turned up with the Meeping Angels and things like that from the Muppets, and it just kind of ruined that side of things for me. But I think my favourite bit in this is the bit with the cherubs. I think that's very well shot, very simple, very almost Danger Mouse style of filming that.
Yes.
Because obviously Danger Mouse did that because they couldn't afford the coloured ink, so they did black with the eyes moving through, things like that. It felt very much like that, and I loved that. And the use of the music in this, again, it's a big thing for me always, how the music ties in. And this is pretty good and keeps the pace moving, and it just feels like a bit of an amalgamation of stories. Again, you know, Moffat, he's pulling things together, the hotel scene, all of it, bringing together things that you've experienced and just bringing it, as you say, swan song for the supposed swan song for the Angels, and I've seen it so many times now, and I really still enjoy it. And it's a good, solid Doctor Who episode. And Matt Smith's brilliant as the Doctor in this. He's terrific. The way he mourns at the end, and it's just such great dynamic with the four of them. I just love it.
Yeah, I just love the fact that
really enjoyed this, even though there's so much I could quibble about.
Yeah, I know. But I just love the fact we've got a Hollywood star in there. She was just on the. This is I think she left this and went off to start doing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Pretty much, yes.
I feel like you're proud of a child that's gone off and made it big, and and there we are. We have her in Doctor Who, but now we get stars in Doctor Who that are already Hollywood stars, which is also
because they all love Doctor Who. I mean, I would if I was a famous actor or something like that. I'd be like, can I be on Doctor Who just as somebody passing in the background?
Yeah, there's plenty of people who haven't. Michael Sheen. Anyway, Kirby, what did you think of it? While I do my curtains.
Thank you, Deb. You know what you did?
What?
My brain now has the Danger Mouse theme going through it.
Danger Mouse, friendly neighbourhood Danger Mouse.
Oh, great.
No, that's not it.
What?
Now
I got the Spider-Man theme.
Alexa, front room light on.
Oh, wait, that's Spider-Man theme. Anyway, as I was watching, I did not watch this every time we were about to record because I tend to watch it like the day before recording. And this was the first time in, I'd say, a good 11 years since I watched this episode. I was watching it last night. I'm going, this is good. And then when it was over, I was going, there's so many plot holes,
Yeah.
but it's still good.
Still good. Yeah.
It's rather amazing.
If I nitpick this too much, I won't enjoy it. But
Yeah, it's worth watching, but I wouldn't have this as like the first episode for a new fan or something. But I like the atmosphere. I love the cherubs. My biggest quibble, outside of some little things, my biggest quibble is that Statue of Liberty. It should
Love the
not
Statue of Liberty.
be able to walk.
Okay, I don't care. It didn't actually in the end, did it? Because it was all the time was undone on it. So stop moaning about it. The other thing I forgot I was going to say what I liked about it. It made me think of something. Oh, the fact that obviously we've had these River Song Doctor encounters where they're in funny order, but with this one they're both married. No, they're married, and she says, "Well, I'm a professor now," and the Doctor gives that little look. Oh, I remember what happened when you were a professor for fun I last saw you, sort of thing, which is quite good. Right then,
The Doctor also mentions. He says, "I thought you were in prison," and she says, "No, she was pardoned."
Yeah, I like that because it
Yes.
keeps in. It's consistent with the Doctor not, when he made himself not exist. Anyway. Oh, we haven't played this tune for a while. Hence, it took ages to play.
Yeah, but
I'm
the
quite
question
curious.
is she there? Because she's texted me, retrying Skype. You all were breaking up
well,
too
if you
much.
let her speak, she might be able to.
I can see her.
tell you.
She looks like she's there. Doesn't
Mary,
sound like it.
yeah.
Oh, somebody could have given me an
Well, can I
advance.
finish saying these then?
Saying what?
Retrying Skype. You all were breaking up too much. Actually, my whole internet connection is acting up. Skype keeps hanging up on me, and Facebook won't even open. That
Why
was
does it
as
pick
of,
the wrong presenter to do that on? Hey, Kirby.
Huh?
Don't be mean.
That was 4 minutes ago.
Okay, well, Billy Kirkbright says,
Mary.
love to come
We
to
love
the
you,
Isle of Wight
Mary.
again. Sadly, this time it is not possible. Hopefully next time. That's Billy Kirkbright, everybody. Okay, well, hopefully we'll come back to Mary when she finds a way of rejoining us. Maybe if she says, "Oh, you need to dial me back in," I'm quite happy to do that. Because she's still on the screen, I can still see her.
Yeah, I know. It looks like she's still here.
It's weird, isn't it? So it moves us on to Kirby's probably not non-existent section of the show where he asks people to provide
Yes, we have some.
feedback.
We have some. We've got, since I always make sure that I reference Andy when I post for feedback, Andy came on and has somebody doing a little happy dance. I'm not sure who that is. Lillian posted a picture of, it's a illustration of the Doctor and Amy on the rock in the park. It's just kind of a nice picture. Mr. M. I noticed them earlier, didn't notice them. I specifically remember not noticing them. It's nice to have the show back. I've managed to get quite far ahead in my viewing of these episodes in the interim, which means I now remember very little. Never mind. The Angels Take Manhattan by Stephen Moffat. This is probably the weakest Weeping Angel story. The Battery Farm is a nice concept. The Statue of Liberty being a giant-sized angel is not. Thank you, Mr. M. But really, this story is about the departure of the Ponds, and so any development or interesting use of the bad guys is pushed to the background. Really, the same goes for River Song. What did she add to the episode? And are you sitting down for this?
Yeah.
Karen Gillan is hot. So it's a shame she jumps off a roof and goes splat. It's a pity the pond's precariously perching precedes pointless plummeting. The plot didn't. The music swells and the emotion never really lands for me. They're still alive. I think this episode messes around too much with timey-wimey paradoxes for the ponds to get a fitting farewell. Excuse me. At the time, I was expecting there to be some more resolution to the young Melody lost in New York, or perhaps an explanation, that's how he spells it, for the happy picture of Amy and her baby seen in the New Work orphanage. But no such luck. Although the afterword and callbacks to Amelia waiting are nice touches. Overall, I'd give this a 7 out of 10. Next time, it's been snowing!
Oh, God, yeah.
And the only, unless I have to refresh the screen, the next thing is Ian's script, which I will not read.
Why mention it then?
Oh, okay. No, there's nothing else. Okay, just 4.
Oh, sake. Right, where's my inbox
Oh,
gone?
God, I've got a
Right.
message.
We have this bit of audio. I think. You're not asleep, are you, Andy?
Well, good morning,
sorry.
Treasure Brothers. Andy Nunny here. It's it's afternoon. It's just turned midday on Saturday. A long time ago, I watched The Angels Take Manhattan, did some ironing, and this is really quite a complicated story, based in America, and then reading about Melody Malone, and of course Melody does should ring a bell. And then there's a Roy Weeping Angel when Rory goes to get some coffee, and back he goes to meet River Song to write Melody Malone book. It's all very complicated and all very tied up, and it all goes round and round and round in circles. So obviously, Doctor and Amy have to go and try and find Rory, and they get there in the end because the titles really just struggle. And then River gets captured, and then Rory's in a cellar, and it's yes. And then you find out about this guy who actually wants to collect the Weeping Angels. Doesn't understand what they are, but the Royal River gets them away, and off they go. And then they find Rory, who's disappeared, and they find 2 Rorys because they find the old Rory. I mean, we haven't had old Amy before, and now we've got old Rory. And so they've gone into paradox again, as round and round and round they go in circles. I thought the bit about jumping off the roof is really rather clever. It's them both thinking, well, we can actually create a paradox here. We can do something. We won't die. It shows what a great faith they do actually have in the Doctor. The fact they won't die when they jump off the roof, and they will be saved. But obviously it does work, because then they find themselves, we've all sorted, we've keyed off the Weeping Angels, we're saved. Oh no, we're not, because here we are. Here's the Weeping Angels taking their revenge on Rory and Amy by sending him back, and the paradox that they created is now, of course, caused the problem that Doctor now cannot go back and save Rory, can he? So I think that's why this story is so complex and so complicated, because he set things up that affect themselves. So the fact that they create the paradox at the very beginning, that Rory can't go back and the Doctor can't go back and find Rory, then creates a paradox where they kill themselves to save themselves, and then it creates a paradox you can't. It's my life, does this get complicated? But what you see is that Rory and Amy can't be apart, and so Rory having gone back, Amy goes back with him, and then you find out, of course, that it's all in the book, and they got the page where they ripped the page out of the book, which was seemed to be just a passing thing. Then something actually does mean something. And then the Doctor goes back again. I mean, it's really just going round and round in circles, because there we go, the image of Amelia Pond waiting for the Doctor, and then you've got other references in there as well. So it really does get very, very complicated. And of course, what this also does lead to is that wonderful mini episode P.S., which is absolutely brilliant. I mean, if you haven't seen it, go. I really do recommend you go and see it. So there you go. So that was the Angels Take Manhattan. I think for the time people did refer to it, as Kirby did on the Facebook post, the Muppets Take Manhattan. Yes, it wasn't, because I thought it was really good. I think this is a really good story. It's complicated because it created its own complexity, its own paradoxes, and for that reason it really grabbed you, really made you sit and watch it. And there you go. So there you go. Back with the feedback. Anyway, I don't hope your mom's better now, and I would look forward to doing a lot more feedback for you very soon. Bye now. Until then, be seeing you.
Well, thank you, Andy. If she isn't better, but thanks anyway. Right. Oh, I've sent Debbie something.
Okay. Sorry, but it's a short note this week. Okay, what's to be said about this one? Well, we have the Angels in Manhattan, and that's about it. Oh, so now the Statue of Liberty is an angel. Oh, yes, and they killed Rory and Amy. In case you've not caught on, we did not like this one. Right side, there was a 5-minute mini episode called P.S. There's Brian again. Next time must be a Christmas episode. It's snowing, Linda and Terry.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it was quite brief, wasn't it? Unusually for them. I'm trying to get Mary back on the call, but so that will be. Where's me? Oh, there it is.
Hello, Switching Back Back Podcast. This is Ian Kerr.
Hello, Ian.
The Angels Take Manhattan by Stephen Moffat. The Doctor says he hates endings. A bit of foreshadowing there. The Varses' early Qin dynasty. Is that a joke about Matt Smith's chin? What happened to the henchmen? I don't suppose it matters. We've never seen the Doctor heal someone with his energy before, and I expect we never will. The Centurion in the Summer has alliteration, and so might be better than the Roman in the Summer. Can a jelly baby become a weeping angel? Some have speculated that the Doctor goes back to see the ponds in the episodes we have seen previously.
Yes, that's what I think.
Karen Gillan says she is never coming back to the show because it would spoil the emotional ending for her character. Also, she's a movie star now.
She did come
so
back.
they might not be able to afford her. In Let's Kill Hitler, the Pond's best friend, Mel's, was living in England, having regenerated in America. Would the TARDIS be willing to land in New Jersey to pick up Amy and Rory? Bye for now.
Oh, thank you, Ian.
Yeah, that's one of the other things that's been speculated ever since this was first broadcast. Why can't they just leave New York?
Well, yeah, but the thing is, right, that's fine. I thought they were trapped in a room. I don't mind anyway. It's fine. It's romantic. I don't care.
No, they're not trapped in the room.
All right. Well, I'm just saying.
They destroyed the hotel, whatever key.
Okay. Well, at the end of the day, it's supposed to be a romantic end for their time in the show, and I don't see the point of it. Why can't they just leave New York? Maybe they can, but at the end of the day, it's,
now, remind me when
out.
she came back into the show.
She came back
that's
in the
right,
show
that's right.
on the regeneration episode.
Yeah, but
said,
that was
Raggedy
that
Man,
really
good
her.
night.
I was
Just saying.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Right, anything else coming through on the live feed? Oh my God, we've got quite a lot. Lillian Robin, anybody remember Lillian? Hi, apparently.
Of course we remember Lillian, don't we?
Well, Billy Kirkbright remembers her because
yes, I remember him too.
Higher Lillian. Well, is she higher Lillian? What are you trying to get her to lift her stockings up higher? I don't know what's going on. Lillian, Angels Take Manhattan is a very good emotional episode. I love it. Agreed, Lillian's. Hang on.
Yeah.
Billy Kirkbright is liking
Shut
a
up.
Moffat episode. And then Lillian said, nice Isle of Wight festival shirt. I mean, apparently it's the only one that fits me that's not tight fitting. That's what I'm wearing. I wasn't allowed to wear a Fantasy Con one because Deb said it was a bit clingy.
Oh.
Never mind. Right.
Buy bigger shirts.
Very fun. At least that's quite kind of you, actually, Kirby. Most people would say just slim down a bit, which would be the obvious and more difficult option. Right. Next thing is I've got to see if I can find some stuff about
Is that whowon.co.uk?
Because Who Won must have. Look, we haven't been for a while. So there must be some stuff that Who Won has. Well, some stuff came through from Lavarzi. They've been doing offers and stuff. I'm just going to have a look. So I'm quite intrigued. Very rarely. I'm quite intrigued to see what's going on.
By the way, Master, I have to say, the last time we all got together, about 6 weeks ago, was one of the most fun recording sessions I have ever had.
Wouldn't it have been a good one to end on, though?
Excuse me?
Quiet.
Will you stop trying to end the podcast?
So stuff coming through on pre-order. Among Us 2 is a Torchwood story. As long as Gareth David Lloyd's in it, it counts. Obviously, it's not going to have John in it, but there you go. Among Us. I want to talk about John. Did he mention anything about Torchwood while he was?
No, and you asked him that directly.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, did I say that I don't count Torchwood when he's not in it, or Gareth David? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yes, there's a few Torchwood CDs coming out. There's also a second Dr. James Robert McCrimmon episode with somebody I tried to get for FantasyCon because his best mates are coming along to it. Fraser Hines. Fraser is doing a Doctor Who cruise somewhere.
Oh, cool. I want to go.
Sixth Doctor Purity Unbound with a friend of the show, long-time friend of the show, Colin Baker. And Unit Nemesis 4 Masters of Time, featuring a lady that likes to cuddle me, who's one of the Redgraves. Never mind. Yeah, that's not out yet. And War Master 9 Solitary Confinement, featuring Derek Jacobi, or as the Americans like to call him, Derek Jacobi.
Yes.
Those are all on pre-order from whowon.co.uk.
Is it whowon.co.uk?
Origin Stories by Sophie Aldred et al. And Teeth of Ice.
Who's Al?
What?
He's being silly. You carry on.
Teeth of Ice, which looks like it might... It says Dan Starkey reads a brand new adventure in the 1900s Antarctica for the Eighth Doctor, as played on TV by Paul McGann. So there's lots and lots of stuff coming through, the action figures and playing cards. And if you guys look at the whowon.co.uk website, they've got quite a lot of fun stuff.
Is that whowon.co.uk?
For your Doctor Who fan. All right, Lavazi. .co.uk.
Oh, I've had to sign up to get a discount on their new bags that are coming. Ooh.
What, Lavazi?
Yeah, they got new messenger bags coming with the Doctor Who inspired ones, and they look really good.
Well, I've seen that they've got some like tote bags with the Doctor. Well, actually, in these pictures, looks like the
Doctor in the pocket.
The 10th Doctor and Donna. Of course, they may need a bit of an update at some point to be the 14th Doctor and Donna. Yes, you're quite right. There's your traditional products like the scarves and the hats, the Star Trek hats, the umbrella, the computer laptop bags, some rather cool neckerchiefs. There's a D-Day Omaha Beach map scarf.
Yeah, that looks terrific.
Cool. Oh, somebody make a funny noise then. There's also the Lavazi blog, where it says you can get Doctor Who news, Star Trek news, plus scarves and much more. If you sort of sign up to their email thingy, mailing list or what they call it, they quite regularly send out special offers and money off their products. Really, really good. And we love Melinda. We think he's fab. So that's the sponsors done. Now I'm going to have a quick peek. We haven't been around for a while, so there must be some Doctor Who news. I've seen lots of pictures.
A little bit at least, you know.
I've seen some pictures of Shooting Ultra with some very interesting folk. Of Bonnie Langford, for one. I don't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be cracking.
Yes. By the way,
I am so looking forward to this November.
She's not going to be in that one. It's going to be.
Yeah, I know. But it starts. It's coming.
Yeah,
you know, it's like we're waiting a long time now.
Yeah, absolutely. Jill Curzon, 2023 AD, My Adventful Life. Celebrating the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, Candy Jar Books will be releasing for the first of a number of books marking the event. Of course, I forgot it's the 60th coming up, which they should really be doing a special event for, like they did for the 50th, which we went to, eh? Yes, there's a book. It's quite a long bit of blurb there, which I'm not going to read. Doctor Who Magazine Special Edition 64. The action figures, the essential guide. Does look rather cool, actually, to be fair. That's out now. Tom Baker Record Collection. Demon Records have announced a special vinyl collection will be released celebrating the 4th Doctor as played by Tom Baker. Limited to just 600 and each including a signed print from Tom Baker. I wonder if it's a real signed print or a printed print of the signed print, if you know what I mean. The collection celebrates Tom Baker's unique portrayal of the famous Time Lord almost 50 years after he made his debut in the role. This limited edition 4LP vinyl box set mixes thrilling audio drama with interviews and readings by the man himself. And the ones they are doing are Genesis of the Daleks, surprise, surprise. The Pescatons, The Time Machine, selection of BBC Radio interviews with Tom Baker made in the 1970s and 80s, and State of Decay. I bet they're quite expensive though, because vinyls are very expensive these days. Cosmic Mask issue 18. I forgot how to read Roman numerals for a moment there. The Doctor Who Appreciation Society has published Cosmic Mask issue 18 as a free download, Kirby. It's a free download. I really must join the Doctor Who Appreciation Society, because I do rather appreciate Doctor Who, and I think it's about time. But it's expensive though. We'll find out. First look at the 14th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. Okay, it's a video. BBC Studios today revealed a first look at the 14th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. Doctor Who returns.
Lots of people have bought it already, you know.
Have you?
No.
Doctor Who returns in November 2023 with 3 special episodes with David Tennant as the 14th Doctor to coincide with the 60th anniversary. Ncuti Gatwa's first episode as the 15th Doctor will air over the festive period. That's exciting, isn't it? Doctor Who will premiere exclusively on the BBC for the UK and Ireland, and Disney Plus will be exclusive home for the new seasons of Doctor Who outside the UK and Ireland.
I think that's great.
Doctor Who magazine 593 with a rather cool picture of that bloke from Good Demons on the cover, standing next to Catherine Tate. Anybody been watching Good Demons?
Omens.
So, I'm going to call it Good Demons because they're Good Demons.
Yet. I'm also way behind on Star Trek.
Don't talk about Star Trek. I haven't started watching Star Trek yet. I'm so behind because stuff's been going on. So what was I saying, Debbie? Oh, yeah, I was calling it Good Demons, so I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah,
because
it's Good Omens, but you are right.
They should have called this series Good Demons. That would have balanced it up nicely. Watch the first 2 episodes, and I do love the cameos that are in episode 2 of members of David Tennant's family. That's what I'm going to say. So that's what's on the front. Not Good Omens isn't on the front of the magazine. That's Doctor Who. It's Catherine Tate and David Tennant. We only live twice. Blah, blah, blah. Patrick Troughton Blue Plaque unveiling. A blue heritage plaque dedicated to the second Doctor Patrick Troughton has been unveiled at a ceremony at Mill Hill School in London. The plaque was organised by Doctor Who Appreciation Society and placed in the theatre named after the actor, who was a pupil at the school from 1931. The plaque was unveiled last Sunday by 2 of Troughton's children, Michael and Joanna, at a star-studded ceremony attended by many of Troughton's friends, colleagues and admirers, including Sylvester McCoy, Fraser Hines, Carol Ann Ford, Sophie Aldred, Michael Jaston. Oh, he showed up, did he?
It's a great
What if he sat still for 5 minutes?
There were some great pictures from that.
Hugh Fraser, Madeline Smith and Rennie Rye. A limited number of reproduction Patrick Troughton mini plaques will be available for purchase soon from the Doctor Who Appreciation Society. And what a nice society it is, isn't it, everybody? Yes, thank you very much. Target novel... Rewind. Start again. Target novelisations for the 2023 specials. BBC Books has announced that Target novelisations of the 2023 Doctor Who specials will I missed out a word there. Will published next year. That's why I got stumbled over that. So, special 1 is The Star Beast, novelised by Gary Russell. Special 2, Wild Blue Yonder, novelised by Mark Morris. And Special 3, The Giggle, novelised by James Goss. Each book will have specially commissioned cover artwork by Anthony Dry. We have a passing, John Nettleton, 1929 to 2023. The actor John Nettleton has died at the age of 94. In 1989, John Nettleton played the Reverend Ernest Matthews in the 7th Doctor story Ghost Light. I recognise the face, actually, to be fair. The Series 20 is going to be released on Blu-ray, so you got Ark of Infinity, Snake Dance, Mordred Undead, Terminus, Enlightenment, King's Demons, and
I'm definitely buying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rather cool set of episodes, to be fair.
I believe it also has the 20th anniversary in it.
Well, there's a video, isn't there? The Tegan's Surprise Reunion Collection Season 20 announcement trailer with Janet
Yeah, I saw that.
on it. That's
Several
all
weeks
it
ago.
showed. No, previous 10 stories. I wonder if they... Oh, hang on, it went wrong. I click on that. Oh, God, it's gone completely wrong now. I've never run out of stuff to actually report on the Doctor Who news. Birds of Prey. Can jump. I'm not going to read that one. Oh, Grandfather Infestation. That's something to do with the Brigadier episode. Stories.
Master.
We've got even Doctor Who Magazine 592 with Christopher Eccleston on the cover. Oh, Lenny Rush is to draw in Doctor Who.
Yes, Kirby.
Kirby? He's not...
I have an update from Chicago. Mary says, I've done a check on my Wi-Fi and did a reboot, but nothing seems to be working. Talk with you next time, I hope.
Tell her that's fine. Give her a cuddle. Yeah, so Lenny Rush, award-winning actor Lenny Rush is to appear in the next series of Doctor Who, having just won a BAFTA at the age of 14. Rush takes on the role of Morris in the 2024 series of Doctor Who, starring alongside Ncuti Gatwa. He's a right talent, he is.
Have you seen him as a Ken yet in the Barbie movie?
I haven't seen the Barbie movie yet. Will you be quiet? We want desperately to. We haven't had time. We're desperate to go and see it. So be quiet about Barbie. Mel returns to Doctor Who.
I haven't seen it yet either. I just know he's in it.
All right, fair enough. So Mel is to return to Doctor Who, and that's about it for the Doctor Who news that I haven't already covered. So well done, DoctorWhoNews.net, for keeping us abreast of the Doctor Who situation. Right, I'm not gonna, like I say, I'm not gonna do the what we watched this week or whatever because it's gone so long.
Many weeks
I have not got a clue. All I will say, I did watch Traitors Australia, which I did enjoy, but it was very distracting because Australians can't pronounce the title's word of the programme. I thought they were talking about people selling stuff for most of the series. Yeah, he's a trader. Oh, she's a trader. They're traitors. It's got a T in the middle. In fact, the logo has a massive T. Traitor. Oh, traders. Well, even the Americans could say... I watched the American version. Even they could say traitor. What's the matter with these win Aussies? I can't speak properly. Anyway, so so I don't know if they'll do another series or just call it Traders and be done with it, So I did enjoy that. Right, what was I say?
What are they trading?
Where are they trading? In some hotel, but it was so good. That's such an amazingly good concept, Traders. It's such good fun to watch, very enthralling. Deb doesn't like it. Not my Deb. She loves it. I'm talking about Debbie Melrose. Right then.
I don't like it,
I guess rather well because you went very quiet. Right then, I was going to do. I forgot what I was going. Oh yeah, sorry, I remember now. So I've just got to open up a Facebook page on a different window, otherwise I won't be able to keep track of what's abreast. So. FantasyCon.
FantasyCon.
There was a rumour a while back that somebody, and I don't know who, tried to generate that we weren't happening. I don't hate it when people
I'd heard a rumour that someone asked me, is it still happening? I was like, yes, it is.
Yes, I don't know why people like to... it's obviously somebody that doesn't like us that does that. But anyway, yeah. So, I guess since... I'm going to have to blag this because I don't know how far back it goes in regards. I think our last episode was before my mum had a fall, so it would be before the 12th of June. Would I be right in getting that? All right, no shout at once. Right then, so Retro Gaming, which Mick at Ireland Retro is also a co-organiser of the event, is providing the Retro Gaming for. FantasyCon itself has bought 2 of those console plug-in, what they call them, HDMI plugins. It has thousands of retro, what do they call those things, arcade games on. So they're really cool. Oh yes, we'll only have one playing on it, but I've already said that Pac-Man has been chosen by the people on the FantasyCon trading social group, as one of the games that will be featured in the retro gaming area. So that's really good, something to look forward to. Samantha Howe, who is now an award-winning writer with Stranger in Our Bed, won the National Film Award. Obviously, she wrote it. She gets the award. She's coming along with the legend that is her husband, David Howe. And they've been so nice since being announced. that I've been rather heartwarmed by it. She keeps telling me how much she's looking forward to coming to the Isle of Wight and doing our events. That's really nice. And I'm quite glad we booked her before she won the award as well. That was quite, good scoop on my part. Heroes, our old sponsors, will be there as the residential traders, along with Crafty Red Bear, who me and Mick met at Portsmouth Comic Con and very kindly are coming over to trade their stuff with us. A woman called Natalie DeGruchy, who's a genuine nice lady and also professional cosplayer.
She's been at almost every single one of Isla's birthday parties when she's had them.
Right, she's a multi-talented person who can do, or I say turn her hand absolutely. She does do burlesque, she does cosplay, professional cosplay. When she does a professional cosplay, she proper is the character. She inhabits the character she plays. She's so good. But she's also an actress and singer and a genuine clever clogs, really. And I love her to bits. I'm so pleased she's coming along to enhance our event. We've got, I said David Howe. FancyCon cosplay competition will be sponsored by Heroes, and because I forgot to the fact that they donated lots and lots of prizes over the years without any real credit for it. So they are donating the prizes again this year, but as official sponsors of the event.
Isla is very excited. She's getting her costume ready.
They're also heavily involved in Corkhead Comics, which is Dan Digby's platform for his incredible artwork. So they've turned being a comic seller into comic selling and publishing. So they're rather fab. Scarrett's Lane Bakery will be there with their van to sell grub to people. Our old friend Adam Brown, or Adam Adamart, as he likes to be known as a caricature artist, will be there. And I must admit, the picture I took of him, which has been used on his announcement graphic, at the time I didn't know if it worked, but with his artwork behind him, it actually does work rather well. So I'm rather proud of myself.
I must get a picture this year that I like what he did for you. Yeah.
Like I said, there's a Pac-Man definitely going to be used as our one of our retro games. Vilile Shabalala, she finally got around to contacting me, but she recently has published on Facebook lots of pictures of her cuddling elephants. She looks fab in those pictures. Hopefully she gets away with it. At least she's cuddling them, not shooting them like King One Carlos. But anyway, so yes, Vilile's promised she's coming.
Yay! Tom will be pleased.
And Gabrielle Glaister. The thing about Gabrielle Glaister, friend of the event, who her agent, who's just, you see his post, and suddenly I saw this post that he put up with her on it, and it's Bob. Right, quickly, is she available? And she was, and so how thrilling for me as the biggest Blackadder fan in the world.
Even Isla knows who she is. Come on, just brilliant.
Gabrielle Glaister is coming. She's only just played an amazing part in Coronation Street, and there she's Bob. She's coming to us. I'm so pleased.
Little Bobby Parkhurst, saucier than a director.
She's
so factory.
she's multi-talented, so I'm so thrilled she's coming. And a chap called Mickey Lewis. Mickey is almost like a slightly enhanced version of John Davey. John is he does the same stuff as John Davey, but he also does Star Wars, and
he doesn't get into trouble so much.
Game of Thrones. You said that, not me. His Dark
yes.
Materials, loads and loads.
Love you, John.
He's got a vast array of experience in regards to stunting, acting, and acting by wearing these costumes. So he's a really fab, another fab addition to our show. Pirate will be along there. That's Michelle Diary's sort of alter ego, and that's a cosplay character that she invented, by the way. And Isle of Wight, the Bouncy World, will be putting on it's a gladiator pit where you hit each other with inflatables and somebody will fall off. So that's going to be rather cool. But especially for us, they're buying in axe throwing. So it's not real axes, it's obviously foam, no, sorry, not foam axes, inflatable axes, which you throw and they land in this board. Quite safe, and they're getting it in especially for us. So, yes, lots of stuff starting to, because we're getting closer and closer, that's why, not too far, a month and a bit away, 2 months and a bit away. So if you're in the vicinity, buy a ticket before they sell out. And buy yourself a trading pitch. You want to sell stuff. Did I mention Martin Ballantyne? Dead Star Publishing.
No.
Children,
You did now.
Cineworld, Kai Owen. We've got a good array of Madame
lot
Bella
of people,
cosplays from
haven't we?
Wales. Elodie Grace Orkin. We keep forgetting she's coming along. So yeah, it's fab. That's it for the FantasyCon news. Next week this will really thrill Kirby to bits. Next week I will be doing 2 pre-wedding shoots on the Sunday evening. So the hiatus, if everything goes to plan, this time will only be 2 weeks.
Hang on, let me bring up my calendar.
Just make sure that it's okay with Kirby.
Yeah. So the 20th of August, I'm on holiday that week anyway. So
the 20th of August is.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Isle of Wight.
Oh, lovely. Here it's raining up there at the moment.
So there you go. That's it, really.
So the snowman is what we're talking about.
Yeah, snowman. Yes.
Yeah, it must be a Christmas episode.
Of the proper introduction of the beautiful Jenna Coleman in the role of one of the Claras. She's bloody got.
Well, where did River go? Because River was going to be with him. Remember,
she's done that. You won't see her again for a bit. But yeah, good. So
so the 20th,
yes.
I've got that, but I need to remove the 13th from my calendar.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
There.
And of course, all these things are tied in and around the unknown delivery date of Grace and Quinn. So Alicia, her what they call that little plug thing that goes in the cervix that comes out when you're about to give birth. Show, that's it, right. She's had 2 so far, but she definitely has only 1 baby. So, as you can imagine, Deb, being an experienced woman in these areas, she's not that far off giving birth. So they were doing a sweepstake this evening on what date that the baby might be born on.
She's going to give birth on Wednesday, because I was born on a Wednesday.
I chose the 13th. Was it the 13th?
It's Wednesday, Pooh.
Wednesday.
Yeah, we watched Grease last night. So that was so good, such good fun to watch that film. And you just look in the background, see all the background details. Grease, it's a film. It's John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, and hopelessly devoted to you, Kirby.
I guess I need to see that movie one of these days.
How can you not have seen Grease? I don't think there's a person on the planet apart from you who hasn't seen it.
I haven't. Sorry.
Not good enough.
Let me see if it's available on anything that I
It's available everywhere. Anyway, but I mean, we were just discussing actually in regards to Grease that when I saw it in the cinema when it first came out, with the opening title sequence, you can actually see it in the one they've got on Apple iTunes, iPlayer, or whatnot, is the cartoon chase in the opening titles. And when I saw it in the cinema, the funny bit was where they were run away from the police and stopped at this crossing, and this little old lady walks past, and then they carry on with the chase. But that scene isn't on the film anymore. Gutted.
Okay, it is available on Max, so I can watch it there.
That's fine. But yeah, what I enjoyed watching was the background stuff, all the people, the subtle acting that goes on in the background. There's a couple of continuity issues, especially when they're in the bedroom, when they have the sleepover. But it's just that subtle acting from when you look at the character that's speaking, which people generally do when they're watching films, look at other characters around them and see what those other characters are doing. On most films and TV productions, I see them mouthing the lines.
Yes.
They don't do that in Grease.
Yes.
But what they do is some really, really skillful, subtle sort of looks and sort of subtle acting, and it's a shame to miss it if you don't just look at it. It does really enhance the film. And there's a dance sequence in Summer Nights in which one of the dancers is the spitting image of Ruby Wax, so much so I thought it was actually her, but I haven't seen no proof as to whether Ruby Wax made her screen debut.
We've seen that. We've seen the lady, and we've when we were kids, we were like, "Is that Ruby Wax?"
Yeah, she's a spitting image of her. But it's a great film. I think it's got to be up there among my favourites. I don't like musicals, and I've heard about the musical episode in Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I haven't got to it yet because I haven't started watching. I'm eager to watch
Yeah,
it.
I haven't started watching them either.
I'm also thinking, well, if I start watching it, then I'm going to miss. I've got to pick up on Picard. I've been just doing lots of history stuff, again, so just to sort of take my mind off stuff. So I'm not going to say what it is because it's too interesting. So anyway, next time, 2 weeks time, like Kirby said, we'll be reviewing The Snowman, which does actually feature a actor, isn't it, Ian McKellen?
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it?
So
until then,
excellent story.
Thank you for listening, watching, taking part again in the show, and thank you for being so patient with us. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Fancy Pants.
Scarecrow.
Hello.
Oh, Mary!
What?
What are you guys playing at?
Mary's back. We just
Okay,
finished.
yeah, you're going to have to record her segment.
Her what? That sounds a bit rude. Oh, yes, we'll record. Hang on, okay, we've got to do this drop-in. This never happens on the show, but because it's you, Mary, it's going to happen.
What is going to happen?
We're going to do...
Tell about what you thought of the episode.
Yeah, so, here we go.
Well, it's funny. This one starts off, I think, really great, very atmospheric and scary and very intriguing. And it brought back the feeling of that, the one that we saw where they go into different scary rooms and there's a minotaur at the end.
Yes.
Yes, I said that.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Time to sort out
Hang
her
on.
internet. Don't
Where's
you
my
move.
bell? I've lost my bell. That is definitely a bell moment.
You don't bell Mary after all the hassle she's been making to get back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what was I going to say? And it kind of followed the same trajectory in that it starts off really great, but then as the actual story progresses along, it starts to lose cohesion. You know, it's like all kinds of strange things are happening that just don't make sense. You know, like how did Rory, by walking along the street, suddenly it's nighttime and he's getting shoved into a cab with, we think it's River, but she says she's Melody Malone, so now we say, okay, is he now in a fantasy or is he just time shifted, in reality? We don't know. And it never explains it because now then everybody joins them and it's like, wait a minute. I mean, just so many things happen that just, and they try to explain it by, I think it's River says that the city is full of time distortions. So then we're supposed to accept then that, every crazy thing that happens is due to these time distortions. And that's just, I think it's just kind of a lazy writing, because they don't have to really explain anything or make any sense because of that. But in spite of all of that, I really enjoyed it. I mean, there are stories that make no sense that I get very discouraged by, but this one is just so well made in spite of being incoherent, that I liked it anyway. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, well, that's interesting.
What we all said.
Yes, well,
really?
apart from Kirby, who's just trying to join the club of the Angels Take Manhattan Appreciation Society, which we've all decided to put together. But yes, thank you, Mary. That was perfect timing under the circumstances.
Oh, well, with my son-in-law, I've been back and forthing with him on text, trying to figure out what's going on with my computer. And I think we've rebooted just about everything. And then finally everything started working.
And we'd literally just done the goodbyes and then Mary's on, yay!
And then I nearly pressed the stop record button, but I was interrupted by stopping the video. So anybody who's watching the video feed will be a bit confused. I don't remember that happening when I was watching
I don't remember that bit. It's just bonus, that is. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to have been included.
Yay! You were missed.
Mary. We're recording in 2 weeks.
Mary, they're being really enthusiastic about seeing Clara. I need your help.
Oh, well.
Well, it's only me that's enthusiastic about seeing Clara.
My enthusiasm's going to die a sad death.
For me personally,
Yeah.
how beautiful. How beautiful that Jenna Coleman is. It's even making me want to watch Victoria again.
Yeah, well, I even proposed to Adam a few weeks back.
Pardon? When did you propose?
because I'm going to be, the wet rag from here on out. And he says, "Oh, no, we want your negativity."
Yeah, we want you.
Yeah. So I was like, okay.
Okay. All right. I suppose that.
Something I found.
God.
That I found. My oldest daughter likes me to take her to Goodwill stores.
Oh yeah.
And I found about 2 weeks ago a book for like $2 called The Complete Whoology. It's just a list of Doctor Who stuff, the trivia that I love. It's great. And I got it. It looks brand new. I got it for a couple of bucks.
Wow. Yeah.
Well done,
when I go to the Chicago TARDIS conventions, one of the big booksellers there always has a big, table loaded with all this kind. And there are so many Doctor Who books like that, that talk about all the episodes, talk about all the paraphernalia, everything you can imagine. And I see the same stacks every time I go. And I wonder at some point, does anybody really buy these?
I would, because every Doctor Who convention that I've been to there might be a few Target books, but that's it.
Oh, yeah. See, if there's Target books, I would get those, but not all these compendium books.
Yeah, I get the Target books, but I have people buy me the compendium books, and I don't really read them.
Yeah, that may be why his looks brand new. Maybe somebody was.
I had a friend from college who I've known since college days. A few years ago, just send me out of the blue one of those books, and it's called The Science of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I remember that book. Yes.
Yeah, it's just right here next.
There's another one called The Science of Star Trek, isn't there?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Well, we've done the goodbyes. We don't need to do them again, so I'm going to stop recording. Ah!
The 20 Megabyte Doctor Who podcast is an APV Services production, sponsored by whowon.co.uk and lavazi.co.uk. We are proud members of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance. Doctor Who is a trademark of the BBC. No copyright infringement intended. The music on this podcast is covered by limited online music license from PRS for Music. License reference LE0030512.